So the thing is that where were we is that for going beyond from these realms, what we were talking, that when a Ariya puggala does it. So from what we can see is as we start working on the Dhamma, we will get into the abhinya. That means we start seeing things differently than the usual. Okay. Now, when we start seeing differently means what? What is that we see things differently? What exactly do we see things differently? Is the question. Now, things we see differently is like this. So there is three states which you would get. Either one of them will work. One, you would get a shunyata, emptiness, meaning the eyes and the sight and the ears and the sound don't join. So while watching breath and you are on the breath and you will see arising and passing away on one side and they're not connecting anywhere, meaning there is no experience happening. So we need to understand in a deeper detail this portion till we go into Nibbana, because then it's all continuous, including Dhita, Muta, Sutta, Vinyata, then Ekata, Jnanata. So without understanding this, it becomes very difficult. So now, Chakku, Chakkuncha, what he says means with Chakku, with eyes. Chakkuncha, Rupe, anything that has a visible form, meaning eye and the form. They're two separate things. Eye has no interest on the form, and the form doesn't have any interest on the eye. Okay. Chakuncha paticha, with, that is dependent on the chakku. So rupe, the rupa, upajjati, arises. What it does arise? A experience of something. Vijnana. So the eye is here, the form is here. They have no correlation, they don't have any connection, they don't have anything whatsoever. The knower of the field being the eye, the knower of the eye is the vijnana. Now, what happens here? It gets attached to the object. And when that happens, there is phassa. Okay. So when there is phassa, you should have a feeling. There is no way that the contact happens and then you don't feel anything at all. Okay. So when I get to see, to know the object, it's due to contact. And this contact creates a feeling. Okay. I'm telling very slowly. There comes a feeling. Let's talk about it in a proper way. Now I'm seeing this, the video here. What Buddha teaches here is observe this and see whether you're seeing yourself, myself there. If yes, there is phassa. If no, there is no phassa. That is, there is no contact. If there is no contact, there is no feeling. If there is no feeling, there is no perception. If there is no perception, then there is no story making. If there is no story making, then there is nothing to call it as a past and a present and a future and all of that. So that ends the suffering. So if I were to watch the breath for a long time, then I can be an observer of this hole, and the hole in the mouth, hole in the ear, hole in the eyes. Okay? And I can just be an observer of that hole. Then I can see this room and this hole same. So as long as I am here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, and this, there's no contact. Because the consciousness is not getting established. It's all about established consciousness, what we are talking. Nidassana vinyana, not anidassana vinyana. So it's nidassana. It's established on name and form. Now, when I say chakuncha paticcha rupecha upajati chakku vinyanam, it's already an established consciousness, which is name and form. Without name and form, there can't be an establishment of consciousness itself. So how do I cut it? How does consciousness cuts itself? Can it cut itself? And the answer is yes, through yoniso manasikara. So the abhinya portion is its relation to how the person sees this different way through yoniso manasikara. A thoughtful, reflective discernment or observation or whatever. Then he makes an assessment that the breath which is coming inside came from outside. It was never there inside. To claim it is my breath. When I say when I was breathing, there is no I in the breathing. If it is true, then the I is dead the moment the breath goes out. Because if I was breathing, then the same I is dead because it's gone. So it looks foolishness. Yes, for only language, adhivachana. Only for adhivachana, we are using this something called as I. So the sakkaya ditthi not being there, meaning to come to this, whatever we are discussing, the person is already a sotapanna. If not, he will not understand. He or she. They'll go in circles. Presuming they're already sotapanna and on their way to become a sakadagami, then what they can do now, along with watching the breath, they can watch this into dhatu. That's the first quadrant of 5 aggregates. Okay. Then the second quadrant is just the phassa, which includes vedana, sanya, sankhara. And the joining, the person who is joining this is vinyana. So rupa plus nama plus vinyana. That's all what it is. So what are we trying to achieve is cutting out the nama rupa from vijnana, which is nibbana. So to enter into the first jhana using Buddha Dhamma is to cut the vijnana which is getting established on sensuality. And then I come to the first jhana because there's no sensuality. Like I did this, and outside same. Ajjatta Bahidda, there's not there. Internal, external, that being cut. It's nice. It's pretty good experience. Okay. Now what I can do, I can get into the first jhana with this discernment. That is using the breath and knowing that there's no sensuality, I can enter into the first jhana, which forms piti, sukha, ekagata, continuous, being there. Then the vitakka vichara not being there, there's nothing to discern now. I don't have to keep on looking at my nose hole or this or that. It's already done, taken care. Now it is like a skeleton. I can just drop this off and enter into piti. Okay. Then I can drop that off. It automatically drops off. Not that I'm going to drop off anything there. It enters into sukha. And then it enters into equanimity. How does it enter into equanimity? Simple. There is no person any longer. So it is equanimous. If there is something, then there is phassa. If there is phassa, there is vedana. If there is vedana, there is tanha. If there is tanha, there is upadana, like that. And if there is no phassa, where is the non-equanimous state? It's equanimous. So 4 jhanas are sufficient. You don't have to go into the other 4 arupa itself. And that's it. So this is what the Samma Samadhi is all about. So the Manyana, what he was considering, is no longer there. So that means what is he doing? He has understood. What has he understood? Patavim, patavito, abhinyaya, patavim mamanni. He doesn't consider. Now he has seen what is patavi. Pataviya mamanni, patavito mamanni, patavim me iti mamanni, patavim na abhinandati. Tam kissa hetu parinyayam tassa vadami. Like that, everything until nibbana. Nibbanam me, meti mamanni, nibbanam, ma abhinandati. Tam kissa hetu parinyayam tassa vadami. Okay. So there is nothing to grasp on to, like explained in the Rathavinita Sutta. Nibbana also cannot be grasped and held. Oh, I have entered into Nibbana. No. I am in Nibbana. No. I achieved Nibbana. No. There's nothing to achieve. What will you achieve from the air which is coming into your nose, which is not yours? And it just goes inside and comes out. What did you do for that? Nothing. Plant is there. You took the plant, cooked it, put in the mouth. It came from below. and it left back to the soil. What did you do there? Nothing. Plant was there, or a tree, cotton. The cotton grew, somebody plucked it, processed it, made it to this. It's put on this dress, which is called as a body. Now you go and remove it and throw it. If I feel I am wearing this, I am this t-shirt. So when I drop it, what happens? I am dead in that. So which makes no sense. So when I start seeing like that, it get into abhinya or abhinya. So the nibbidha happens instantaneously, the disillusionment. Nibbidha brings in viraga. So there is no raga. When there is no raga, there is nirodha. It doesn't arise again. Then it is upasamaya, calming. Abhinyaya. That's what we are talking now. Then you get other three things. Other two things. Sambodhaya, Nibbana. You will see the bodhi for yourself. The dukkha is considering there is I. The craving is what is creating I. When you drop the craving for I, then you're done. And the step you took to drop the I. So this is how the Sekha will be in Buddha's dispensation. So he knows, he learns how to cut phassa. And somebody on the channel has written to me that he has done until 60 days retreat in Goenka. He says in longer retreats, Goenka talks about removal of phassa than vedana. That's nice to know. So he says initially he only talks about vedana, sensation, and then he will talk about dropping the phassa. I said, I wanted to tell him, yeah, thank you for clarifying that or saying that. So where we have to work, if you want to go beyond a sotapanna, is phassa. That's the reason DN1 also, in the end of DN1, you see my dhamma is removal of phassa, the contact, not the feeling. You cannot cut the feeling. It's like the water is flowing and somebody will then tell, I will cut the flow. Sorry. You should go to the starting point and stop the water. That you can do. But you can't stop a flowing water saying that I will do something. No. So the very key aspect to learn in all six senses is this two coming into contact is the one you're stopping. Okay? And the phassa happens if there is namarupa with consciousness. A phassa will not happen if there is no namarupa. Now, how do I know that I have been doing it correctly? Simple. Watch the face in front of the video and watch the breath. If you're doing for a long time, like I've been pressing for 18 hours and like that, you will be able to observe something funny You start to see the holes, or can be called as kalapa or whatever we can name it. It's just a nomenclature. There's nothing to hang on to that. What it is, ultimately, it's particles. Obviously, it is a particle only. What else it is? So there shouldn't be any fight saying that it is particle means what kind of particles. Simple particles. They come together because of gravitational pull. Simple. Earth, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, all these planets, how are they standing? Just think. They are there because of gravitation. So there is energy which is bringing it together. So it's becoming round. All kalapas are round. All energy matter, if you say energy, is in that shape only. You will not find any other shape. If you say electron, proton, neutron, they are also in the same. If you call photons, light particles, they are also same. They have their own movements. So there is oscillation within and there is oscillation outside, both. It goes on its own axis and also goes around. If the planet is going around something, isn't it that your body is also going around something in a circular motion? And the answer is yes. And that's the reason we call it as circulation. It's circulating. The air is circulating. The blood is circulating. The nutrients are circulating. That's what we know. So we don't have to go to a particle physics to know this. It's just a simple understanding. That's it. Abhinya. So the person is gone. So you take the support of the breath to get there. Now the question comes, can I do it without that? It's like a person asking, can I walk without legs? You require crutches. What if I don't want crutches? Then you can't walk. So, if somebody has this weird idea that I shouldn't be watching the breath at all, or it's an activity, then he's like a person who doesn't have legs but dream about going on a walk. Very simple. Okay. That's the reason if you see in Satipatthana, he starts with breath. If you see Anapanasati, he talks about breath. If you take any sutta, including Maharahulavada Sutta, again he talks about that. He comes to Anapanasati. Then if you go to Girimananda Sutta, again he says Dasasanya. The last one is Anapanasati. So that means you can't skip. And you can't skip jhana. No matter how much intelligent we are, doesn't work. Simple, straight, honest. So if you want to have abhinyaya, you need to get into this. So when I see like this, holes, hole here till the below, back hole, it's just a hole, akasa. Then this vayu is entering inside, it's going inside, and the stomach is expanding, it contracts, and then it expands, it contracts. It's not me who is contracting, it's not me who is expanding. I am the witness to the contracting and to the expanding. So this is vayu. Then, because of this movement, there is a heat generated. Outside also there is heat, inside also there is heat. So it is Tejo Dhatu. That's all what it is. I am not hot, nor I am cold. That's the nature of things. So Vayu, Akasha, Vayu, Tejo have come together. Now, if these three guys come together, there should be some watery. So it is there. If it heats up outside, water starts to flow, just like candle. So simple. So now I know there is Apo. And if there is four of them together, it should condense somewhere. And that condensation is this body. Looks solid, but it is not solid at all. So now what I unearthed it is five dhatus for my own experience. From my experience as vijnana, seen or itself, that there is no solidity, ghana sanya is not there. So became bhanga, dissolved. The solidity is gone from the chitta. Now the chitta can't experience any longer the solidity, ghana. Okay? So chakuncha paticca rupe cha uppajjati. Chakku vinyana didn't happen. Sotancha paticca sadde cha uppajjati. Sota vinyana did not happen. Ghanancha paticca gandhe cha uppajjati. Ghana vinyanam did not happen. Jivhaya paticca rase cha uppajjati. Jivha vinyanam did not happen. Kayancha paticca pattabhe cha uppajjati. Kaya vinyanam did not happen. And hence, manancha paticca dhamme cha uppajjati. Dhamma vinyanam did not happen. When this did not happen, there is no phassa. So then what happens? Vinyana nirodha happened. Because there is no established consciousness. It's not established on any name and form. And now you become your God parinyaya. You just found out how it works. And when you are in that all the time, it becomes parinyata. When you have found it out, it's parinyeya. So a sekkha is a person who has had parinyeya. Is understood. Yes, Bobby.
Vilashi, when you're observing the breath, like this kaya, like in the body, and this object of the body, that is the breath, when that comes together, like for example, the consciousness, the vijnana is coming, and then the passa is happening right there, because you're saying when you watch the breath, all this six different consciousness, or this contact is not happening. But when you're watching the breath itself, this body and the object of the body and the consciousness coming together, right? Because your attention is going there.
Yes, the initial attention is going there, but you're also finding the breath is outside and inside are the same. So it becomes opaque, equanimous. So when it becomes equanimous, you don't have phassa. When you take a neutral object, this is a neutral object, this whole is a neutral object, this whole is a neutral object, this whole is a neutral object, this socket here is a neutral object, teeth is a neutral object, bone is a neutral object. So you're cut off the person from the equation. So the vijnana would have landed on name and form. That's not landing on name and form at all. Like in one sutta, Buddha asked, is it going to fall on eastern wall? If the wall is not there, then it will land on western wall. If the western wall is not there, then where does it land? On the ground. If the ground itself is not there, what happens? It doesn't land anywhere.
So when
So,
that, sorry.
yeah, go ahead. You
So
go ahead.
yeah, when that equanimity happens, normally it is a neutral feeling, right? So that
There's no feeling. There is no feeling. The
not,
upekha
not
has no feeling.
not even a neutral feeling. No.
No, that is the reason the counter sign of neutral feeling is avijja. The counter sign of avijja is vijja. The counter sign of vijja is vimukti. The counter sign of vimukti is nirodha or nibbana. And the counter sign of nibbana is nothing. The counter sign of sukha vedana is dukkha vedana. The counter sign of dukkha vedana is sukha vedana. Like that. Right? So when I'm sitting for meditation, I'm getting sukha vedana. The counter sign is dukkha vedana. Why? When you come out of jhana, you're in dukkha vedana. Okay. Then neutral, avijja, because you have not penetrated into this neutral feeling.
So
Meaning
thank
it
you.
is indifferent. Yes,
So
go ahead.
when you're having that neutral feeling, for example, when I watch the breath, I'm getting a very, it is a neutral feeling. That is what even I understand from Goenkaji also. It is kind of not pleasant, but it is a neutral feeling. But it is very feeling very pleasant also. But that that feeling is avijja. That's what he's saying. That feeling is avijja.
Yes. So to cut out avijja, you have to cut it into dhatu. Okay. You have to first cut it onto dhatu. If you don't cut it into dhatu, the ayatana will pick up whatever is given to it because there's a vijnana which is taking it. So in order not to have the vijnana getting established, you should first cut it into four dhatus, which is what is in satipatthana dhatu. And he gives an example, just like the cow. And he cuts it into four parts, throws in four different corners of the road. What does it mean? One side is Patavi, another side is Apo, another side is Tejo, another side is Vayu. Can you now club them together and say this is cow? No, because Vijnana cannot land in that. Vijnana requires some source as an object. So the object itself is mutilated completely. That's no object. That means the Vijnana made this as an object. Now you have thrown it away, so the Vijnana cannot get established. So that's the reason I told that Rupa plus Vedana Khando, Sanya Khando, Sankhara Khando is Nama plus Vijnana. Objective here is to cut this name and form from Vijnana. And that's it. You are in Nibbana. But I can't say I'm in Nibbana because all that I'm saying is creating Nama and Rupa. So a true Buddha follower, Ariya, who is understood cutting the re, which is circling around, because consciousness circles back, it comes back. You don't want the consciousness coming back. It comes back to the origin. As origin is Nama and Rupa. Correct. And Vijnana is ended. Doesn't lead to growth, decay, death, all that, because happening in Vijnana. Like Bobby, if I say you are Bobby, then I have some opinion about you. If I'm saying beard, lips, nose, spectacles, hair, t shirt, like that, and the chair looking the same, where is Bobby? In real sense, I'm talking about a real experience which is happening on the consciousness. It loses Bobby. When Bobby is not to be found anywhere, so the consciousness recoils back. There's one sutta where he talks about just like a feather of a hen fallen in the fire recoils back. In the same way, the vijnana recoils back because it didn't find anything to eat because of fuel. It requires fuel. So Bobby is a fuel. If I can't find Bobby, it get extinguished then and there. So then what happened? Chakuncha paticha rupecha upajati chakku vinyanam did not happen at all. So there is no scene stress. The tanha is the scene stress. There's no tanha. So for that, what I need to do? I need to cut it into 6 dhatu. Then the ayatan is cut. The food in the ayatan is gone. So this is how Buddha solves the $1,000,000 equation about who is inside this body. And that's the reason it is Sekha. A third level is Anagami because now he has removed sensuality from the equation. Any questions? Anyone? So what I need to do then? Observe the breath. I observe for 1 hour. Doesn't make any sense. No, sir, I observe 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours. You talk to me anything above 14 hours, at least 12 hours. Otherwise, don't have to tell me at all. Just 11 hours, 59 seconds. 11 hour, 59, 59. No. Sorry.
I don't know when I can confidently tell you that.
yeah, Mangala, go ahead.
So it has to be, I mean, what I have noticed about watching my breath is that it is a very gradual increase. You cannot do it overnight.
That is
And
true.
your mind just wanders, one. And two, so the moment I think about my breath, I start taking deeper breaths, So is that justified?
No. So what you need to do is like this, Mangala, this also for Bobby. Anyway, another 3 weeks I'm there with him. So hopefully that should work. So basically, look at sensual. Take coffee as an instance. How much time does it take to drink coffee? 5 minutes max, without losing the heat, that warm or hot. Assuming every ingredient is in good condition, right? You have to create a condition. That means Itta, Kanta, Manapa, Kamupa, Samhita, Piyarupa, Rajaniya. It has to have all these 6 quality. It should be to my liking. Itta, Kanta, enamored, Manapa, fitting into my mental state, Kamupa Samhita, what a taste. That one. This is exactly what a person does with his girlfriend when they are lip locked. And after few years, they stop talking to each other. That's a fun part of this lip locked facility. Maybe because of this lip lock, they started zip lock. Okay, anyway. So the lip lock happens, then the hip lock happens. And after that, no more interest. For that, so much of fight to get that girl or that man or whatever that is. Anyway, coming back to this that coffee thing. Rajaniya. Enticing. Keep it. Now do the same thing with 5-minute breath watching. You will get a better pleasure than the coffee. After 5 minutes, take the coffee again. You will not like it because it should take time. While at Bobby's home, we are going to do this with Toblerone. Bobby loves Toblerone. So Marin is going to buy us good amount of Toblerone for meditation. So we are going to lick the Toblerone to crazy. Like children, look it, do everything to it, maybe kiss it also. And then when you are almost putting it inside, throw it out and try eating it again. It gives you disgusting feeling. Now watch breath for 5 minutes. That's the reason I was wanting people to buy a watch. Need not be Apple Watch, any watch, because then we can set a time, that thing, 5 minutes, do it, compare with sensuality and this. You will find a difference. And when the mind finds the difference, it throws out sensuality. Then magic happens. You set a timer for half an hour. Mind will not go anywhere because it's getting pleasure of watching breath. Then you do 1 hour. You can do for 1 hour. Now double it, 2 hours. 2 hours. Then double that, 4 hours. It does. Then double that, 8 hours. It does. Then double that, 16 hours. It does. I'm not joking. It works. All that you have to give it to is the ugly side of sensuality. So Bobby and I are going to do this exercise with Toblerone. I too love Toblerone, the big one. Okay, so I've asked Marin to buy huge quantities of Toblerone. In fact, Bobby and Marin are going to buy Toblerone before my arrival. Or in fact, they might even welcome me in Brisbane airport with Toblerones. So the moment I sit in the car, open Tobler 1, there are 6 pieces there. Cut 1. Okay. So basically we can do that. Anyway,
Is it 6 or more?
I think it's more. It's more. Anyway, this room is, they have gone there. Very nice. Okay. So this is the basic thing we are going to do. Bobby, now don't do anything. When I come, we will do it. You can see, you can increase the time from 1 hour of breath watching to 18 hours without any struggle. Why it doesn't do it right now is because it doesn't know the pleasure. It only knows the sensual pleasure. So it sticks to the senses. The consciousness is attached to the senses at present. Unless it sees the other one, it automatically throws it out. This is junk. Then it throws the third one. When it goes to arupa, it throws out the rupa, saying that this is that junk. Then when it enters in Nibbana, it says arupa is also junk. Like that. Just like a child, the child is playing with some toy and the mother gives a better toy. It throws this toy and takes that toy, right? See, when the mother and father give a better toy, which is wife or girlfriend, doesn't he throw out all other toys which he have been playing so far? Because this toy is far better than that toy. And then they very soon are married because then they can play with the toy. The girl is playing with the boy toy and the boy is playing with the girl toy. And these two toys will procreate and create a new toy called as a child toy. Like that, and then all that happens. And what a celebration. Oh, it's my kid. Oh. After 25 years, you'll come to see this kid is horrible. Never listens to the parent. Or even younger, let's say 15-year, teenage. Dad, I need a car. Like Ariya is taking 1 week baseball, another week basketball, another week skiing, another week. So he's asking new toys. Dad, what the hell are you doing? Give me the new toy. Yes, son, my job is to supply you with toys. Here it is. 1 toy, take second toy, third toy, 10th toy. Now all that he is pursuing is to give toys. That's all. So once it comes to know there is no end to this toy business, and hence in US they closed the company called Toys R Us because they came to know that they are not toys. Okay. So this time when I went, I couldn't find Toys R Us. Otherwise, that was my favorite place to hang out. Whenever I used to feel bored, I used to walk down to Toys R Us. But anyway, now it's closed. Can't say much about Toys R Us, but it was nice. But they found out that we are no longer toys. We have Toys R Us gone. We don't know who the toys are. So basically, for the consciousness, matter is the toy. So Bobby, don't worry. With Tobler 1, we'll enter into all 8 jhanas. Okay, so we'll see how to kick out the Tobler 1.